बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। आज का हमारा लेक्चर चैप्टर नंबर 2 बुक 1 एक्सपेरिमेंटल टेक्निक्स इन केमिस्ट्री पर होगा। हमारे जो टॉपिक ऑफ कंटेंट्स हैं वो है फिल्ट्रेशन, क्रिस्टलाइजेशन, सब्लिमेशन, सॉल्वेंट एक्सट्रैक्शन, क्रोमेटोग्राफी एंड इट्स टाइप, पेपर क्रोमेटोग्राफी। फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, इन तमाम एक्सपेरिमेंटल टेक्निक्स को जो ब्रांच केमिस्ट्री की डील करती है उसका नाम है एनालिटिकल केमिस्ट्री। द ब्रांच ऑफ केमिस्ट्री विच गिव अ कंप्लीट केमिकल कैरेक्टराइजेशन ऑफ बोथ क्वालिटेटिव एंड क्वांटिटेटिव एनालिसिस ऑफ अ कंपाउंड इज कॉल्ड एनालिटिकल केमिस्ट्री। सबसे पहले ये देखना है कि क्वालिटेटिव एनालिसिस क्या है और quantitative analysis क्या है। Qualitative analysis, the analysis in which the detection or identification of elements present in a compound is carried out is called qualitative analysis. Example, salt analysis, detection of functional group. जबकि जो quantitative analysis है, the analysis in which relative amount or percentage of elements are determined is called quantitative analysis. For example, volumetric analysis. Step for quantitative analysis, there are 4 steps in quantitative analysis that are obtaining a sample for separation of analysis, separation of desired constituents, measurement and calculation, and last, drawing conclusion from the analysis. These are the 4 steps which involve to find out the relative amount of element or percentage in a compound. First of all, हमें देखना है कि filtration through filter paper और filtration through crucible इनका comparison क्या है आपस में। Filtration is a process in which insoluble particles are separated from a solution. Filtration can be carried out by filter paper or filtration can be carried out by crucible. First of all, filtration through filter paper. Solvent passes through the paper and insoluble particles remain on filter paper. Filter paper are classified on their size of pores. Filter paper should be 1/4 or 1/2 full of precipitate at the end of filtration. Tip of the stem of funnel should touch the side of beaker to avoid splashing. Fluted filter paper is obtained by folding normal filter paper. Fan-like arrangement obtained with regular elevation and depression. It can also increase the rate of filtration. While filtration through filter paper is a slow process, but the filtration through a fluted filter paper can increase the rate of filtration. Filtration through gauge crucible or sintered glass crucible. There are two types of crucible: gauge crucible and sintered glass crucible. Gauge crucible is made up of porcelain material. Its bottom is covered by a paper pulp or filter paper. But if you want to filter acidic or basic solution, then its bottom should be covered with asbestos. While sintered glass crucible is a simple glass crucible and a porous glass disc sealed into its bottom. There is no need of preparation for the filtration of acidic, basic or hot solutions. So the best criteria for the filtration through sintered glass crucible. अब हम देखते हैं फिल्ट्रेशन क्या है। फिल्ट्रेशन द प्रोसेस इन विच insoluble particles separated from a liquid. It can be performed by several type of filter media. It may be carried out by the use of filter paper or by the use of crucible. Filtration can be done by ordinary filter paper or by fluted filter paper. Filtration can be done by gauge crucible or sintered glass crucible. What is the difference between gauge crucible and sintered glass crucible? It is made of porcelain material while sintered glass crucible is made up of glass. It has a porous base. In its base, sintered glass disc sealed into its bottom. Its base needs to be covered with filter paper or asbestos. There is no need to cover the base with filter paper or asbestos mat. To filter the reactive solution, base is covered with asbestos in gauge crucible. For reactive solution can safely be filtered in sintered glass crucible. There is no need of any alternation. In gauge crucible, there is a contamination of filter paper with crystals. There is not contamination in sintered glass crucible. Sintered glass crucible is the best choice for the filtration. There is no need of any alteration or contamination occur in gauge crucible. Here that is a gauge crucible, having a gauge crucible, a funnel, having a porous bottom, while that is a simple glass crucible having a porous glass disc sealed into its bottom. Crystallization. Separation of solid as a crystal when hot solution is cooled is called crystallization. Crystallization can also be defined as the process in which crude product is purified and obtained in the form of crystals. Crystals are either produced by cooling of solutions or by evaporation of solution which contain a compound to be crystallized. Crystallization involves the following aspects. Choice of solvent. Solvent is selected by heat and trial method. Solvent is chosen by heat and trial method. Suitable solvent dissolve a large amount of solute solute at high temperature and less amount of solute at room temperature. Solvent should not react with solute. Impurity should not dissolve in solvent and it should not crystallize out when it is cooled. On cooling, it should deposit well form of crystals of pure compound. It should be cheaper and safe to use and easily removable. After choosing the solvent, you can select a number of solvents for the process of crystallization: water, active spirit, diethyl ether, acetone, chloroform, and a mixture of miscible solvents. If the solvent is inflammable, then use water bath for heating purpose. Preparation of saturated solution: after choosing the solution, you can prepare a hot saturated solution, then filter it through hot water funnel to avoid premature crystals. When solution is filtered, then it should be cooled at moderate rate to get medium sized crystals, and after that collecting of crystals take place and then drying. Crystals can be dried by vacuum or in several fold filter paper, but the best method for drying of crystal is vacuum desiccator. Vacuum desiccators having absorber to absorb the moisture. In vacuum desiccator, the absorbers are calcium chloride, P2O5, and silica gel. That is the best way for drying of crystals, vacuum desiccator. Decolorization of undesirable colors, that is the last step. If crystals contain any color impurities, then it should be decolorized by using animal charcoal in boiling water. It absorbs color impurities and crystals can be decolorized. Sublimation. The process in which solid when heated vaporizes directly without passing through the liquid phase is called sublimation. Sublimated solids are naphthalene, ammonium chloride, camphor, iodine, benzoic acid and anthracene, etc. These are called sublimated solids, impure solids. When they are heated, they directly vaporize without converting into liquid state. Here the process, there's a stand, sand bath, china dish having a sublimated solid, the inverted funnel covered with wet cotton having a cotton plug at the end of the stem. When you heat the sublimated solid, it vaporizes, and due to wet cotton, these vapors are condensed and convert into pure solid, sublimate. Solvent extraction, that is a purification technique. In solvent extraction technique, separation of solute from a solution by shaking the solution with the second solvent in which solute is more soluble, but the adding solvent does not mix with the first one. That is a solvent extraction. Solvent extraction is controlled by distribution law or partition law. What is distribution law? A solute distributes itself between two miscible liquid in a constant ratio of concentration irrespective the amount of solute added. Step for solvent extraction: compound is dissolved in a solvent and then solution is shaken with other solvent in which earlier solvent is immiscible but solute is more soluble. Put whole system in separating funnel. Two layer will be produced in separating funnel. Layer 2 of solvent will be separated out and heating in water bath, evaporation take place and crystals of pure compound will be obtained, and this process repeat again and again to get maximum solute. Chromatography. The word chromatography is originated from Greek word chromatos meaning color writing. That is another purification technique. A technique used for the separation of compound of mixture which involve the distribution of solute between two stationary phase and mobile phase is based on partition law or distribution law. This technique is also controlled by partition law or distribution law. In chromatography, stationary phase may be solid or liquid and mobile phase may be gas or liquid which flow over the stationary phase. Substances are separated on their affinities with mobile phase or stationary phase. Distribution of compound is governed by distribution coefficient K. Larger value of K mean that substance will be in mobile phase which pass over stationary phase. Smaller value of K means that substance will be in stationary phase. Adsorption chromatography is a type of chromatography in which solid is stationary phase. Partition chromatography is also a type of chromatography in which liquid is stationary phase. Difference between adsorption and partition: in adsorption chromatography, stationary phase is solid. In partition chromatography, stationary phase is liquid. Examples of adsorption chromatography are column chromatography, thin layer chromatography, while example of partition chromatography is paper chromatography. Now we discuss paper chromatography. In 1944, Constantine Gordon and Martin introduced paper chromatography term. Different ways of paper chromatography are ascending, descending and radial. In ascending paper chromatography, solvent move upward. In descending paper chromatography, solvent move downward. While in radial chromatography, solvent move in circular path. That is a chromatographic tank. That is a chromatographic paper hang in the tank with the help of clip. That is a solvent. That is original spot. And after the process of chromatography, that is a chromatogram in which components are separated from the mixtures. Uses of chromatography are separation and identification of colored pigments, identification of medicine and proteins, analysis of urine, determination of purity of compound, use in organic synthesis for separation, isolation and purification of the product. Equally importance in quantitative and qualitative analysis. Here the MCQs. A complete quantitative determination generally consists of, right answer is 4 steps. We already discussed that. There are 4 steps in quantitative analysis: obtaining a sample, separation of desired constituent, measurement and calculation, and drawing conclusion. Here there are 4 steps: separation of obtaining a sample, separation of desired constituent, measurement and calculation, and drying conclusion. So the right answer is delta. Which of the following is the best method for drying of crystal? We already discussed in the process of crystallization. Here there are three methods for drying of crystals between several fold of filter paper. Number two, by oven, and number three, by vacuum desiccator. Vacuum desiccator is the best way for drying of crystals. Here there is absorbers CaCl2, P2O5 and silica gel. The best way is vacuum desiccator. And these are the absorbers: calcium chloride, P2O5 and silica gel. Next MCQs. Iodine is present in aqueous layer as triiodine. When it goes to CCl4 layer, then color changes from the color of triiodine. When the color of triiodine is brown and the color of iodine is purple, तो जब ये I3 से I2 में जाएगा तो इसका कलर जो है वो ब्राउन टू पर्पल चेंज हो जाएगा. ठीक है जी. That is iodine extraction technique. There are two type of solvent extraction: ether extraction and iodine extraction. The color of triiodine is brown and the iodine is purple. When it changes iodine, it means the color changes are brown to purple. So the right answer is delta. Which is used for removal of false color from crystals in crystallization? Very simple. Animal charcoal. If crystals get color impurities, it can be decolorized by using animal charcoal. Animal charcoal is powder animal charcoal used in boiling water. It absorbs color impurities from the crystals and crystals can be decolorized. So the right answer is Charlie. A filtering a protein could be very time consuming if it were not added by gentle section, which is 12. Right answer is beta. If paper fits tightly with the funnel, then there is no time consuming process occur. Rapid process. If paper do not fit tightly with the funnel, then filtering a product could be very time consuming. So the right answer is beta. Solvent extraction is particularly useful technique for separation when the product is separated is volatile and thermally unstable. When second layer of the solvent is taken in water bath and heated, the volatile solvent evaporated and we get pure solute. So the right answer is delta. The convertive rate at which solute move in paper chromatography depend upon the RF value, retardation factor. RF is the formula: distance traveled by the component from original spot divided by distance traveled from by the solvent from original spot. So it depends RF value. RF has no unit. The solution remaining after formation of crystal is called mother liquor. The right answer is Charlie. If paper chromatography, the wet moving edge of the solvent that process along the surface where the separation of the mixture is occurring is called. The right answer is solvent front. In paper chromatography, the wet moving edge of the solvent that progress along the surface where the separation of the mixture is occurring, जहाँ mixture separate होगा उस point को आप solvent front कहते हैं. The right answer is beta. One of the following substance does not undergo sublimation. सब्लिमेशन का जो प्रोसेस है वो सब्लिमाइड सॉलिड ही पे अप्लाई होता है और सब्लिमाइड सॉलिड हम बात कर चुके हैं. अमोनियम क्लोराइड, आयोडीन, नेफ्थलीन, कैम्फर, बेंजोइक एसिड ये हैं. तो जो सब्लिमाइड सॉलिड नहीं है उस पे सब्लिमेशन का प्रोसेस नहीं अप्लाई हो सकता. राइट आंसर इज अल्फा, दैट इज अ नॉन सब्लिमाइड सॉलिड. द मीनिंग ऑफ क्रोमेटोसिस, अभी हमने शुरू में बात की क्रोमेटोग्राफी में. द वर्ड क्रोमेटोग्राफी ड्राइव फ्रॉम ग्रीक वर्ड क्रोमेटोस मीनिंग कलर राइटिंग. द राइट आंसर इज अल्फा. For further MCQs, see practice book with detailed explanation. Thank you.